this story properly. Back in the summer of 2021, Italy was just coming out of lockdown, and me and my friends were trying to think of some kind of summer activities that we could be doing. And we wanted to do something adventurous, we wanted to travel, we wanted to get out there after being stuck in the house for so long, but we weren't really able to travel internationally, you know, get on a plane, go to another country, go on a super long road trip across Europe, because borders were still closed. You just had to get a lot of tests, you had to get a vaccine. It was a difficult time to travel. So we decided to do something based in Italy. We went to our favourite shop, Decathlon, to see if we could come up with any ideas, and we stumbled across these inflatable kayaks for €250, and we thought, perfect, we'll be able to do something fun, something adventurous with these kayaks. Then we started looking on a map to see if we could find some lakes or some rivers that we could explore with our new kayaks. And we came across this lake in the north of Italy, right on the border between Italy and Switzerland, in a place called Livigno. That's when the idea started to formulate. We could take our kayaks, we could pack some bags, pack some supplies, we could set out along the lake, stopping at different spots, setting up camp. Eventually we could make it all the way across the other side to Switzerland. We could set up camp, we could spend the night there. We've incorporated some international travel into our summer trip, and we've got out there, we've explored, we've had an adventure. And the idea started to flow from there. Then we did some research. We tried to figure out how to do a multi-day kayak trip. Neither of us had ever done it, so we started with YouTube. We watched some videos, we went and got some more supplies, and then we pretty much just went out there and tried to do it. It wasn't until we actually got on the road that we started to realise just how underprepared we were for this trip. Livigno is about 2,000 metres above sea level, with temperatures dropping as low as 5 degrees at night, even in the summer. We didn't even have a tent or a sleeping bag. We had a couple of tarps, and we planned on spending the night under a tarp, sleeping in our inflatable kayaks. You know, that in 30-degree weather in Milan, that would be quite nice, but we didn't take into account how the weather was going to be when we arrived in Livigno. Nevertheless, we wanted to see how far we could go, so we decided we would just, you know, set out and we would play it by ear, and if it got too difficult, or you know, it was impossible, or it turned out to be a terrible idea, or we were in any danger, we could just turn around and come back and head back to the car and try and find some place to stay for the night. And that's what we done. Directly ahead, those mountains there, that's Switzerland. I think just up ahead and on the right, we might look to make camp there for tonight, because above head there's a big dark cloud. Looks like thunderstorm is rolling in, so it's probably a good idea to get off the water and make up tent so we've got a shelter before the storm arrives.
So we'd only been kayaking for about an hour, but with this rain cloud coming in and thunderstorms forecast, we're looking to put ashore here where there's this big rock, where it looks like we might be able to use that as some shelter. So we're going to see if we can get across here, see if we can set up camp somewhere about here. So we put ashore literally just as the thunderstorm was starting. It started pouring down, so we just thought we'd get a shelter up as quickly as possible. So we didn't take any video of us getting the shelter up. Rain's coming down again, heavy. It's going to destroy what little fire we got going. Might just be a case of sheltering under our tarps now and coming back out to see what's left of our fire after this downpour. So it's absolutely pouring down, so we're both just kind of hiding out under our shelters in the hope that it might go off. So yeah, I mean it's pretty good. The little shelter we've got here, just got a stick, and then it's just held down with some rocks on the other side. It's dry. So we're gonna go check on Graham, see how he's getting on. Camping bliss. Right, quick update. We have kept the fire going through the worst of the storm, and the rain stopped. So we are cooking up we're boiling some water. Going to chuck on some pasta. Have a nice meal. Graham's keeping nice and warm.
So after retiring to our shelters and trying to get some sleep, we quickly realised that it was way too cold and we were way too underprepared to get any sleep, you know, that far away from the fire. So I had to reassess the situation, and I dismantled the kind of rough, quick, like lean-to tarp setup that we threw up, you know, just to get shelter from the rain. And we created a kind of envelope shaped tarp setup with one side blocking the wind and one side open to the fire. That way we were able to spend the rest of the night, you know, sheltered and, you know, being able to take advantage of the warmth of the fire that we had managed to keep going for the whole night. So after spending one night, you know, freezing cold, trying to keep warm, shivering by the fire, we decided it would probably be the best idea to abandon our hopes and our plans of reaching Switzerland and head back that day. So we decided we would pack up all of our stuff. We had a quick dunk in the waterfall to wake us up and freshen us up for the day. And then as we had packed up and we were just about to push our kayaks back into the lake, we realised we were gifted with the most beautiful, mirror-like lake to paddle back to the car. So I would say by most metrics, this trip was a complete failure. We set out to paddle to Switzerland and we failed. We struggled to even stay warm, you know, we were grossly underprepared for what the elements would throw at us. But now, as I sit and I reflect and I think back on the trip and I try to think about what I've learned and what I can take from it. And I think it's that if the targets and aspirations that you set for yourself are ambitious enough, even in failure, you're still going to achieve something and you're still going to gain something from attempting to achieve that target. So if there's one thing that I'm going to take from this trip and the reflection that I've done on it, is that I'm going to keep on setting for myself targets that are maybe difficult to achieve, or that are going to stretch me, that are going to push me, that are really going to challenge me. And even if I feel underprepared like we were for this trip, I'm not going to let that stop me, because even in failure, there's still a lot to be gained if the targets that you set for yourself are aspirational enough.